Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a vintage recipe. The vintage recipe I'm going to be using is out of this recipe book. This recipe book was published by the British Red Cross Society in 1950, and this one was for detachment number 8, who are based in Carlisle. Here is a picture of detachment number 8. Basically what they did to raise funds is they asked everyone in the area to submit recipes for this book, and then they sold it and the funds went to the British Red Cross. There's a little foreword in this by the president of the society, Lady Mary Graham, which reads, "I'm delighted to be asked to write a foreword to this book, which I know will be of value to a great many people. In these days of shortages and high prices, we all want to know the most economical and practical way of running our homes. I would like to thank all of those who have kindly sent recipes and hints, and congratulate number 8 Detachment for getting together such an excellent collection. If you like this book, will you buy another copy for a friend, as our Red Cross funds are urgently in need of help." So in that vein of shortages and high prices, which we've all felt recently, I'm sure, I have decided, rather than doing a very obscure recipe that I need to buy a load of ingredients for, I'm going to make the brownie recipe. This was sent in by Mrs. M. Gouge, the rest Morton in Carlisle. So that's what we're going to be following today. Me and Chris will both eat the brownies rather than eating something completely random like mock cream or beetroot and jelly. So first of all, I'm going to get all my ingredients out and then I'll run you through the recipe. So for this recipe, you are going to need half a pound of sugar, half a pound of flour, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 2 ounces of butter, 1/3 of a cup of milk, vanilla essence, 1 egg, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. This recipe also suggests using walnuts. I do not have walnuts, although I thought I did have walnuts, so I'm not sure what happened to those. This means I'll have slightly less mass, but I don't think it will matter too much to the flavour. Apart from it won't taste like walnuts, I suppose. I have also preheated my oven to gas mark 4. Other equipment we'll need: a bowl, a sieve and a wooden spoon. And then I've also got myself a dish for the brownies. It doesn't say what size dish I need. I've given it a very cursory coat with some oil. So let's get started. The actual recipe for this is only actually 2 lines. Melt butter and add sugar, flour and eggs, etc. Then baking powder and lastly walnuts. Regulo number 4, 20 minutes. I'm assuming regulo is gas mark 4. Again, I'm not quite sure. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it does take 20 minutes or if it needs longer. Anyway, let's get mixing. First I started by sieving the dry ingredients, starting with the flour, then moving on to the sugar, and finally I decided to sieve my cocoa. Once I'd done that, I was a little bit liberal with the vanilla, and then I gave it all a good stir until it was kind of one colour. I then started to mix in my wet ingredients. I started with half the milk first, gave it a stir and then added the other half. I melted my butter in the microwave for just a few seconds and then added it to the batter. Are you ready to see the worst egg cracking you've ever seen in your life? I thought I would try and be fancy and do it with one hand, but it turns out I'm terrible at that, so yeah, nice work, Lucy. I noticed that the mixture was quite thick and I wasn't really sure if it was right. It just seemed so wrong to me by today's standards that it would be that thick. So what I decided to do was take a little bit of coffee that I had left over and put about 2 tablespoons in, as well as a little bit of salt, and you can see the texture is so much better and looks like a much smoother, more pourable batter. I poured the batter into the prepared baking tins. I then popped it in the oven for 20 minutes. You can see me ask Alexa here to set that alarm for me because my memory is a little bit like a sieve. 20 minutes are up and I feel like it's caught slightly. I haven't checked it yet. Let me get it out. Oh no, only a little bit. Okay. I was was a little bit worried then. So this is what we've ended up with. It has got cracking like a brownie. It feels very gooey in there. If I did a knife test, I do not think it would come out clean at all. No, so you can see it's still on the knife there. But this is a brownie, so what I'm going to do is let it cool completely, then we'll remove it, cut it, and hopefully it will be kind of squidgy. Okay, so that is the recipe done. It's a little squidgy in the middle, but I think it's supposed to be. It's an old-fashioned recipe for a brownie. So I'm going to have this with a cup of coffee, but let's try it a little bit first. It's pretty good. It's very soft, like I say, a little bit squidgy, and the crust is quite crusty. It's not as rich as we would think of a brownie being now, because we probably add a load of extra chocolate, like real chocolate, rather than just cocoa powder now. It's really good. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm just going to see this through a couple of days. If you like this vintage cooking video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more vintage content. If you have any vintage recipes you'd like to see on here, please pop them below. And yeah, let me know if you have a favourite brownie recipe. That would be really cool to know too. Thank you again. I make videos nearly every week, and I hope to see you around. Bye.